Thank you for joining us here on WSBAN as Robert Morris University gets ready to take on Drexel University. I'm Dan Connor. I'll have a call this evening, and we were here after this team went into overtime last night, and Robert Morris came up on top. Final score of 6-5. Drexel comes into today hoping to snap a 5-game losing streak. They were pretty much on point yesterday, beginning in that second and third period. They did give up 2 goals to Robert Morris University in the first. However, they were able to bounce it right back and score 3 in the second, but then they did give up 1 to make it a 3-3 game. As both teams headed into the third period, both would get themselves a pair, and it would be a 5-5 going into overtime before Robert Morris eventually was able to score the go-ahead goal. Shots last night, they were pretty much about the same all the way through the game. It was 15 in the first for Robert Morris, 11 for Drexel, 19 for Robert Morris in the second, 12 for Drexel, and then 17 for Robert Morris and 11 for Drexel in the third. It was overtime where Robert Morris had the upper hand as they were able to get 7 shots on net, 1 able to find its way home. Drexel University, as we said, is on a 5-game losing streak. They're hoping to snap that here with aggressive play and a good first start for them. 2 of their losses came with just 1 goal, and the rest, they were only by 2 or 3. So Drexel has been right there the entire time. However, they're just struggling to score early on. We'll take a quick break here on WSBN, and when we come back, we will have your national anthem and your starting lineups.
The 4 Points by Sheraton, Winnipeg South. Conveniently located on South Pembina Highway near the Trans-Canada Bypass and 1 hour from the U.S. border crossing. Offering a saltwater pool, hot tub, 24-hour fitness center, restaurant, and lounge.
We are here at the class of 1923 arena here in University City, Philadelphia, as Robert Morris University gets ready to take on Drexel. I'm Dan Conrad. I have the call tonight. Robert Morris comes into today 2-2-2 on this season. Drexel University comes in at 5-5. Drexel looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. They lost to one last night in overtime. A final score of 6-5. A tough loss for them. Their six came alive in the second and third period, scoring a combined 5 goals. But Robert Morris was able to stay just with them throughout the process, and we went into the final minutes of the game tied at 5 before Robert Morris eventually won at the top at the beginning of overtime. Just about ready for your lineups and our national anthem. Well, some technical difficulties with the sound system here, but it went as planned. Could get the introductions in, the national anthem paused momentarily, but the crowd able to pick it up. We're just about ready to get the first period underway. Drexel University in their pink uniforms tonight, with Robert Morris in their navy blue. Morris, they were able to score 2 goals in the first period and able to jump out to a 2-0 lead. Drexel University looking to quiet them this evening as they or look to get the upper hand early in the game. It'll be no Sereno in the net for Drexel University tonight, and it will be Colburn on the other side. Just about ready to get underway, and here is the opening face-off for game 2. Chopping puck into Drexel's end. Marsh able to put it out in front and then eventually send it in on goal, but it's kicked aside. That one off the stick of Isaac before Drexel's able to move back up with it the other way. It is Castor with it over the far end. He just pokes it in the corner and tries to go back behind the net. It is Harris and Castor, the leading goal scorers on this team. This puck is in the corner. Castor backhanded high off the glass, kept in by the point there and sent in on a ricochet off the stick there of Isaac. Mars trying to clear this one out, but fanning there on the pass before Drexel eventually brings it out to center themselves, but then it has it poked away from him, and the puck's in a little bit of danger before Castor able to wipe out a play. Both teams going off on a change here. Drexel needs to move fast. Mars is in with it. They set a shot. That one ricochets high and wide off the glass. That one off of Hodgson. Trickling out in front. This one sent in again wide. That one off the stick of Reed before it's poked along further by Finnegan. Finnegan trying to get it on the stick there of Hurst, but Hurst is surrounded by pink jerseys. And then it is Drexel who is able to get it out to at least a point before finally poking out this center, and it's Sambuco just trying to backhand it along. 18:29 just started here in University City. Plays a 1923 arena. This one sent ahead. It's on the stick of Sambuco now. Sambuco looks for the return pass, but it's just out of the reach of him, and that allows Robert Morris University with some momentum as they pitchfork this one out in the Drexel's end, but then have to retouch on a delay offsides. This one sent all the way down and then tipped further in, left to the goaltender. Now wrapped around to the other side. Dancing in there is Lindvall. Lindvall trying to get to the puck. He has a couple players fall down in front of him, and Drexel will play deep into Robert Morris's end as a few players will go off on a change. This one backhanded right there, and almost stuck in, and now it does! A weird backhanded shot there by Genovese, and it did not look like it was going to go at first, but the goaltender moving up slightly away from the post, trying to get his arm back, and it found its way into the back of the net, and just like that, Drexel takes the early 1-0 lead. Drexel keeps the pressure on as they send the puck right back into Robert Morris's end. They're trying to gather along the boards, but then it's eventually played out of escape before it's played by Hoover out in center. This one flipped in right at the goaltender. Gathered and danced out of danger there with it is Purdue. And then eventually it's poked up and out through center, but Purdue surrounded by pink jerseys and unable to get momentum out through center ice. So the momentum, at least for now, belongs to Drexel University. But Robert Morris, a good team that can put pressure on and quickly change momentums of hockey games. They play this one out to the far point. They try to send this one in, but it ricochets high and wide before it's eventually gathered back behind the net there by Lazine. Lazine trying to play along there to Quinn. Quinn trying to knock Isaac off the puck, and then it's eventually Robert Morris with a backhanded shot that kicks off a Nocerino skate into the safety netting with 16:33 to go. One shot aside for both teams. The one by Drexel did find its way into the back of the net to make it a 1-0 hockey game. They were unable to score against Robert Morris University in the first period last night, as it was all Robert Morris as they scored 2 goals, and then it was Drexel in the second and third before eventually losing in overtime. Drexel University with the puck now out through center. A 2-on-1 developing. This one brought over to the near side. Sit back over, but poked away by defense, and Kostura had a great opportunity trying to get that one along to Jacobs, but it was not able to slide all the way through as the defense stick was in the way. Stoppage in play here as we have an offsides with 16:16 to go. Drexel with the puck is played along now brought out through center ice, and then eventually sent back in deep. This one off the stick of Ragno. Ragno goes off on the change as Drexel is able to push it out through center, but just out of reach of Jacobs before it's eventually poked back in. This one played on the side of the net by Nocerino. Extra pushing and shoving after the whistle, something that both teams are very good at here. And we have a lot extra going on there, and we will see if there is a penalty, and the referees do appear to be signaling something. So it'll be 2 roughing minors. The penalties will offset, and it will be 5-on-5 hockey. It's Burke into the box for Drexel University and Warren on the other side. So it remain 5-on-5 with 15:46 to go. We'll correct that now. The referee has decided to make it a 4-on-4. It'll be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. The face-off won there by Robert Mars. They send this one towards the net. That's going to go high and wide out off the stick of Hodgson. Onto the stick now there of Lazine. Lazine sends it over to the near side, and Drexel's going to move up and out through center. So onto the stick there, Urbani. Urbani trying to play it along the boards, but then it's eventually taken off his stick, and now it's Hurst with it. Hurst sends one in. That goes off of the shoulder pad there. And the rebound left out in front. That's kicked this side as they try to go through the 5-hole. Drexel moving up with it the other way now. Here's onto the stick there is Sambuco. Check that. It is Lazine, not Sambuco. So Lazine sends it all the way across. It's played in the corner out to the far point. It's kept in there, and this one goes in. It goes off of the shin pad, and then eventually sent out through center all the way down, and an icing will be called. .56 now here in the first period. Drexel University with 2 shots thus far. One of their shots have found its way into the back of the net. That one off the stick there of Genovese, as it was just a weird backhanded shot to the near post, and it eventually trickled its way through and crossed the red line. This one sent along to the near boards, and it's brought back out through center and then sent over to the near side. Wrap around there, attempt, but it was unable to go as the defense was there and ready. Drexel moving up with it now. They're in. It's a 2-on-2 developing. This shot is blocked out by the defender into the corner. Then it brought back out to the far point, and eventually sent in wide. And now brought it off to the near circle before it's sent back into the corner. Trying to get that one all the way across, but they do so on deflection. Does Drexel, and they try to send it in deep. Trying to get it onto the stick of Barrett, but it's eventually brought back out the other way. 20 seconds left on the 4-on-4 here in the first period of play. Robert Mars will send this one in deep as they will go had her defense go off on a change of 5 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Dancing around there is Harris there. Harris sends it across. Here comes his shot that ricochets wide and into the corner. Back to 5-on-5 hockey here at the class of 1923 arena. Both players out of the box for their coincidental roughing minors. This one sent through traffic. The goaltender did not see it at first. It was left out in front, but the defense able to do a nice job to keep Drexel away from the puck. 3 shots aside for both teams. Face-off one here by Robert Morris. They take it back behind the net, give their team time to set up, sprawl along to the near side, and then eventually kept in there. And trying to send this one up further was Drexel, but it's brought back out the other way now. Missed attempt there on the check as this one slides all the way to the blue paint and across to the near boards. Brought back out now to the near point. Its dish is in off of Purdue, and then eventually a stick out in front of the net and wide. Couple players go down into the corner with it is Lazine, and a whistle will be blown, and we have a cross checking minor. It'll be Castor to the box for cross checking, so it'll be the first power play for Robert Morris. And there were some penalties last night, a little bit of a series of penalties. But both teams were able to come out of it in the end as they took the game into overtime. Puck got her along the near boards and trying to send it in deep was Hodgson, and then he was able to keep it at the blue line. Drexel did not think so, neither did their fans. He gets it right back, sends it over to the far point. Sent just to the left of the net, now brought out in center, and this one ricochets wide and off the glass. Trying to get a stick on it there was Reed, but it was just sent wide of his lumber, and then eventually sent back out to the far point. Reed asks for it back, he has it, but he has to play a hopping puck and take it back out to the point, and then eventually sends one through traffic that's held by Nocerino with 12:11 to go and 1:22 on a man advantage. These two teams did not see each other last year. As a matter of fact, they have not seen each other the past 2 years, as we did not have a season due to COVID, and then a shortened season just the year before. Face-off one there by Drexel, taking it back behind the net is Eisler, but then Eisler is checked off into the corner. He goes down hard, but eventually he's able to pop right back up. This one sent all the way across in the blue paint in traffic. And no damage done, and then fanning on the pass there was Reed, and then was allowed Drexel to come back out with it, but doing a nice job was Hodgson as he sends this one in towards the net, but it's eventually poked aside as Palumbo was unable to get a hold of it. A delay offside? No, says the referee and the linesman as the puck was sent back in. It did appear that it went out through center. Drexel's bench thought so. Their fans thought so, but the linesman said absolutely not. It's played at the far point there. 38 seconds to go on the man advantage. It is Castor in the box right now for cross-checking. Here comes a shot that hits off the goaltender into the safety netting with 11:17 to go. So the momentum has changed a little bit. Both teams struggling to find it early in the first period. However, it does appear that with this power play and that Robert Morris has able to come out with a little bit faster sticks and faster plays to try to get a goal that will allow them to tie this one up. This puck just sent in deep. Nocerino will come out, a little backhanded along the board to send over to the far side. It is McGinley that sends it out through center and down. and that'll pretty much kill this power play with 5 seconds to go. So Drexel 1 for 1 so far tonight on the penalty kill. But sent out through center, and it just gets past there. A 3-on-1 developing this shot, and it finds its way into the net. Into the netting, as they had an open net, but it just bounced over his stick, deflected up and out of play. We see Birkin having a conversation with the referee before they drop the puck. It's going to be a casual conversation, nothing too serious. Castor with the puck now, he sends it all the way across. It is Harris trying to dance around the player, and then it's poked into the corner. Harris trying to get it back to Castor. Two strong players on this line, but it's eventually sent over, and Martin is knocked away as we see Birkin with a nice body check. Puck left out, Martin passes it along, now it's a hopper just to the left of the goaltender. It's a choppy ice right now. Castor coming back with it down to the final 9 minutes and 55 seconds here in this first period. This puck is grabbed out of the air at the blue line and then eventually sent back in. Castor is there trying to do a 2-on-1. Now it's just him and the goaltender. The shot, the goaltender able to keep it out as he blocks that near post. And the referee lost sight of the puck. It was loose with 9:42 to go, but because he did not see it, the whistle was blown. And that will allow both teams to go off on a change. And now 5 shots for Drexel and 4 for Robert Morris. The puck was loose just at the near post at the edge of the blue paint. But the body's in front, shielded the referee's views. This one sent in, trying to send that one to the back, and that was Urbani through traffic, but it was seen all the way. Halfway done this first period now. It's 1-0 Drexel as they scored early as they send this one in on the net, and a stoppage at 9:24. There's a late backhanded shot just there at the near goal post, and I guess it's true that if you put the puck on net, sometimes just good things happen. Doesn't matter how hard that puck's hit, just really where it's at and how it's played. Robert Morris has it out through center now. And eventually they play it along the far board, set it in the goaltender. Puck is loose to the left. The goaltender trying to get it covered, and Nocerino finally does with 9:07 to go. Shots a little bit lighter here in the first period than last night. Last night it was 15 for Robert Morris and then 11 for Drexel University. Before Morris had just one shot shy of 20 in his second period of play. Drexel lobs this one out through center. Robert Morris, they're able to gather, and then it's poked in by Jimmy Jacobs. His dad came to see us before the start of this game, telling us that he prefers Jimmy instead of James. And that's what we're going to stick with here. This one sent in wide intentionally, trying to get the bounce back off and over to the other side to allow Robert Morris an attempt to score. But it's a failed attempt, and it's held with 8:39 to go. Face off one there by Drexel. They have it back behind the net. This one lobbed out through center, trying to get it onto the stick there of Bell. Bell is eventually knocked down into the corner. Then it's at the far side. It was Sambuco trying to keep it in, but he was unable to get a full hold on it. And then this one sent high and wide, and then trying to push it back in further was Patton. But Patton's pace was interrupted. Now it's back on the stick of Sambuco. Drexel moving up with it. It's Jimmy with it. Jimmy Jacobs drops it off, and it's sent along the near boards. and then eventually sent back out on his stick of patent before he hands it off there to LaFontaine. Walsh trying to send it along. He's unable to get it out through center, but then he gets it right back and pokes it back out. And then it is Kazitsky with it, and Kazitsky will send it in wide and intentionally so he can go off on a change. 7:36 to go. Drexel up 1-0 here in this hockey game. Whistle's blown. Hand pass is called, and that'll push the face-off into Robert Morris University's end. Drexel with it. They send this one towards the net off the stick there of Genovese, but it's just going to find the netting. 1:24 to go here in the first period of play. Drexel up 2-0. They are back on a man advantage. So center near side, Genovese with it. He's looking, hands it back off. That's what's set all the way across, trying to get it back out in the middle of Harris, but eventually goes all the way through and then sent back over by Birkin and eventually find the glass. Kept Endo at the far side, down to the final 1 minute and 4 seconds here in the first period. This one's sent towards the net, but it's going to hit off the back there, McGinley, and then it goes off the post. 1:23 to go on the man advantage, 52 seconds in the period. It is Birkin with it. Birkin looking, holding, trying to center it back out, but it's intercepted there by Palumbo, and he's unable to get it back out. And it's eventually brought all the way across, finally next to the net, giving it back off to Birkin. Birkin sends it over, sends it back out in center to Harris, but Harris' stick was tied up, and he was taken down on the play. And then eventually they tried to clear, but it was kept in, and then a high stick forces a whistle. The linesman saying that one played with a high stick right there at the blue line. Referee and the linesman conferring, and we're going to send this face-off all the way down. They were going to send the face-off all the way down, and then they changed their mind and send it back to the other blue line. 55 seconds to go in the man advantage, 25 seconds here in this period. So if Drexel is unable to score, it will be a brief man advantage as we head into the second. Drexel's with it. It's on the stick there, Sambuco. Sambuco gives it back out to Kazitsky. Kazitsky right back to Sambuco. Sambuco sends it all the way across. Kazitsky plays it, and they're playing catch right now. Sambuco looking, sends one towards the net, and that one almost nearly went off the back leg pad of the goaltender, and this one just sent towards and wide, and that's how we end the first period. Drexel University is up by 2, 16 shots for them and 9 For Robert Morris University, it'll be a brief power play to begin the second period. All the momentum goes to Drexel towards the end as they have themselves a 2-0 lead.
The 4 Points by Sheraton, Winnipeg South. Conveniently located on South Pembina Highway near the Trans-Canada Bypass and 1 hour from the U.S. border crossing. Offering a saltwater pool, hot tub, 24-hour fitness center, restaurant, and lounge.
first intermission here at the class of 1923 arena. It is Drexel on top, 2-0. They were able to take the early lead just 3 minutes into the first period. That one coming off the stick there is Genovese. Genovese just gave a weak backhanded shot towards the near goalpost, hoping that something would happen, and it eventually did trickle in right through the 5-hole and into the back of the net. The goaltender just trying to position himself to slightly move up to get a hold of the puck, but he moved up just a little too far as that puck eventually gave Drexel the early 1-0 lead. However, after that, it was kind of a battle for momentum here, as both teams were trying to play a choppy puck on ice, trying to get the upper hand, and it was eventually given to Robert Morris University after a 4-on-4 that sent Birkin and Morin to the box with a coincidental roughing. So 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and it was during that time that Robert Morris was able to get a little bit of an upper hand and eventually start putting a lot more pressure onto the Drexel's defense. Castora, though, he would get sent to the box with 12:49 to go in the first period for a cross check. That allowed Robert Morris to gain some more momentum and eventually begin to put higher pressure on Drexel once more. Yet that momentum quickly lost its footing as Drexel went 1-for-1 on the penalty kill, and you could see Robert Morris University seemed defeated. The penalty power play did not go their way. They were eventually sent back to the bench without scoring, and that allowed Drexel to get the upper hand. It was Kaczynski, though, with a power play goal with 5:07 to go in that final period to send his team into the second with a 2-0 lead. And the team will also go in with a 29-second power play, as Drexel has 16 shots in the first, 10 for Robert Morris, and Drexel, who was unable to score in the first period last night against Robert Morris University, comes out and takes the early 2-0 lead. They're hoping to keep that momentum as they head into the second period of play. We'll take a quick break here on WSBN, and when we come back, we'll have the second period action. Back here, start of the second period is Drexel University up 2-0. I'm Dan Connor with the call. 16 shots for Drexel, and they will win the face-off here to begin the second. They have a brief power play, 25 seconds remaining on that, as they casually play along the near boards, and that's eventually taken up through center and down. It is onto the stick there, Harris. Harris spins away. And it's eventually sent over to Birkin, and Birkin sends it all the way across. Birkin gives it to Genovese. 5 seconds to go. This one's sent back, and that one's set off as Castor is able to backhand it along to the other side. Castor has it. He gives it off there to Harris, or check that McGinley, as Harris came back out just in front of the goaltender, hoping it would trickle out in front. Robert Morris moved back now with it the other way. It's dropped back out. This one ricocheting off the defense. It does not touch the netting, just the glaze, so the puck stays in play. It's Castor with it. Castor scores! A bouncing puck that came off. A bouncing puck that came off of the defense, eventually landed on the Castor's stick, and he sends it right to the back of the net as he gives his team a 3-0 lead. It's the first time these two teams have went up by 3 against one another, as they kept it relatively close last night, and the game's not out of reach for Robert Morris, but Drexel is continuing to put it a little bit further and further away. Checked off the puck there was Reed, and that was a nice body check by Birkin just to take him out of the play. The puck's out, played out through center. Going down was Drexel, but then it's Jimmy Jacobs that plays it into the corner. Keeping it in there, Sambuco. Sambuco has it, sends it towards the net, and it's hit off Colburn's stick into the safety netting with 18:06. Drexel University was unable to get the momentum early in the first period of play. Then the 4-on-4 happened, a roughing minor that allowed Drexel to change that game just a little bit. And then after that, it was a power play for Drexel University as they went 1-for-1 on that power play in the first, and momentum has been all Drexel since that point in time. They're now 1-for-2. That goal was scored about a minute and a half after the power plays. This one sent into the Drexel end. And eventually sent in again, and then just blocked the side wide and back behind the net. Gathering out through center and then sending it in hard there was Hoover. Hoover feigning though, and taking a player out of the play, as that was LaFronte trying to give Hoover a little bit of a challenge. This one sent all the way to the blue paint over to the near boards, and it's bounced ahead, but LaFronte able to keep it in at the blue line before it's eventually taken back out and sent over onto the stick there, Genovese. Genovese sends it towards the net, and then dropping the puck there momentarily was Colburn, and you had Barrett there who was not ready for it, but possibly could have did a little bit of damage if he was able to get his stick onto that puck. It was 16 shots for Drexel in the first, 10 for Robert Morris University. No shots for Robert Morris so far in the second period. 1 for Drexel, and that 1 has found its way home as it was off the stick of Castora. The puck kept in there. It's ricocheted off the board, sent in deep there by Bell. Bell trying to get it along the near side, and then eventually trying to get it onto the stick of Urbani, but it bounces over his, and then it is gathered out through center ice. Bell calling for the puck. Didn't get it at first, and then was able to force his way up and disrupt the play. Gathering out with it is Eisler. It's brought along to the far boards as Eisler was taken out of the play, but Drexel moving on with it. A 2-on-2 was developing. Now it's gathered back behind the net. Gathered along there. Robert Morris went off on the chains. And it's eventually brought over to the fresh legs there of Hodgson, and then Hodgson sends it back out into the center portion of the ice, but then eventually goes the full length as they were not ready for that one. Linesman skate getting it out of the way there as that helped Drexel out momentarily as the Robert Morris University takes it in. It's back behind the net, then trickles back out in front. Then Robert Morris able to grab it. Byrne sends it towards the net, but it goes wide, and then it's eventually bounced back off the boards, and Byrne unable to keep it at the blue line, as showing his frustration with Hodgson as he slammed the stick out through center before gathering the puck and then eventually sending off the boards. He does give a cross check, but both referees do not see as the arms stay down. This one going towards the net. It's a one-handed attempt that goes off the goaltender. And he gives an extra push. At this time, he's going to be called for that one. Hodgson going in towards the net. And it's staying into that crease, not allowing Nocerino to get back into the blue paint, so he gives him a hard shove, and then he's going to get called on the roughing call after Hodgson just got away with cross-checking Drexel University as both players went down. Appears to be Quinn serving the penalty for Nocerino. So it'll be a 2-minute man advantage with 14:59 to go. Drexel up by 3. If Robert Morris is looking to get back into this game, this is the time to do it. This one's sent along the near boards and sent all the way across. The shot ricochets out, and then eventually it's brought onto the near stick there of Hurst. Hurst playing catch with his defenseman. He'll send this one in through traffic and trying to get onto the stick of Morin. He does, but it ricochets up and out of play. "14 shots now for Robert Morris University. 4 of those coming in the second period. They've been unable to find the answer though against Drexel, as their team has done a great job keeping the pressure up, and even better in between the pipes. It is Hurst with it. Hurst had to reach for it, and he sends it through the blue paint, trying to get it onto the stick there of Palumbo, but now it's Drexel moving up the other way. A 2-on-1 developing if they heavy fist. They send it across almost onto the stick of Jacobs, but just out of his reach, and then he'll just casually play it back behind the net. They're holding down. Drexel's holding the Drexel player down the ice. Drexel's bench wanted a call. They won't get it as the puck moves up and out. This one dances through the blue paint, and there's only one referee out on the ice right now. They're not sure where that second one is, so we have 2 linesmen and a referee in this second period. old school hockey. At one point, there was only one referee in the NHL before changing it over to two. Trying to disrupt that play was Rabani, but then he went down after he was able to knock that puck out in midair. 30 seconds left on the man advantage here. Drexel sent it in deep, and then they're able to gather and getting a shot off. There was Linval as that one danced onto his stick, and he'll force a face-off with 13:19 to go here in a second and 21 seconds on the man advantage. There was a conversation at the end of the period between one referee and the linesman with both coaches. And now we see that one referee is missing. So your body to the box will be a man advantage here for Robert Morris University. We apologize for the technical issues here at the arena. The internet going in and out, a little spotty tonight. 1:47 to go in the man advantage. This puck brought over to the near circle and gathering there, and then eventually sending over to the near side was Hurst, and then it's eventually kept out. Stick goes high, and then a hard check there, and then now we have a whistle blown. It's going to be bell in the box. Ball gets a little conversation from the linesman. And unfortunately for you, the broadcast went down on an amazing play by Nocerino. They tried to tuck that one in at the near post. He dived over, kept it out. They were unable to do it. Then it was brought back over to the far side. The net left wide open. Nocerino still on the ground, able to get back up, dive across, keep it out, and cover to keep it a 3-0 hockey game. So brought over to the near side and sent back out. It's Hurst with it. And this one sent in hard, but then blocked his side. And Hurst goes down. He appears to be hurt as he's slow getting up. And this one's blocked out through center. Hurst going to try to stay in. And then he's going back the other way. It appears to be fine now as that puck's just out of his reach. And then it's eventually on his stick there, Palumbo. Palumbo sends it across. Hurst gets it back. 5-on-3 for the next 48 seconds. As this one's sent out into the blue paint to send across and then poked into the back of the net there by Marin. And that is a power play goal with 11:06 to go. And that makes it 3-1 here in the second period. Nocerino not able to get across and get to that one. The Drexel's fans a little upset as they thought that there possibly should have been a whistle with Hurst hurt down on the ice. So we'll have a 5-on-4 for the next 1 minute and 4 seconds. 3-1 game. Gathering there out through center is Martin. Martin then sends it in deep around to the other side now to Walker. Walker has it, gives it off to the point there to Finnegan. Finnegan brings it over to the near side to Walker before he gives it right back. This one sent in on goal and then backhanded out and all the way down. Ragno with it now. Ragno moving in quickly. Oh, dump it in around Urbani and then give chase. Urbani takes him out of the play as he checks him hard into the boards. 22 seconds to go in the man advantage. 10-15 in the second period of play. There's Ragno with it back behind the net. And then it's eventually hugged up against the boards as the puck before it trickles out long out to the near side. And Urbani trying to get an upper hand, but he's eventually taken out of the play. So ball back out to the point. It's on the stick of Finnegan. Finnegan sends it across. Down to the final 2 seconds of the man advantage. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 9:52 to go. Ragno tries to send it in, but it's blocked there by Kazitsky. Kazitsky gives chase, and then he'll have it back out on the other side. Kazitsky drops it off, and then it's brought back out through center, and a 4-on-2 developing as that one just out of the reach of Jimmy Jacobs as he had a backhanded attempt, but that one just a little bit too far ahead. So sent in the corner, across the blue paint, and ricocheted back on it in near boards. Here goes one through traffic that hits off the goaltender's pad and into the corner. Nice pressure there by Drexel where it seemed like it was going to be quiet, but they were able to get 3 good shots off. Robert Morris with the puck now. It was on the stick there with Byrne. Byrne sends it in deep. And then eventually sent over to the far side there by Drexel. 23 shots for them, a 3-1 lead with 7:46 to go. This puck sent in deep and back behind the net, and getting his stick on it was Colburn. Able to settle it down for his players. This one backhanded along there by McGinley. McGinley trying to put some pressure up, but then it's eventually sent back out in center. Castor has that one just out of reach of him as he's unable to disrupt the play as we have LaFontaine send that one in wide intentionally. This one hits off the boards down and will go into the goal crease, so no icing call with 7 minutes left here in the second period. Backhands it along onto the stick there. Hoover sends it across to Urbani, and then Hoover eventually gets it right back. So it's sent all the way down wide of the goaltender. Icing will be called with 6:40 to go. A physical game with these two. 23 shots for Drexel, 17 for Robert Morris University. It'd be interesting if we were counting the hits to see where they are, as Drexel has had quite a few nice open ice hits to disrupt the play. Puck's along the far board. They're trying to bring it back out, but it's blocked this side. And then eventually sent in off of a player and into the back of the net with 6:21 to go. And that makes it a 3-2 hockey game. That one going off the handle of the stick. Not even trying to block it. It goes off of Walker's handle, finds its way into the back of the net, and it makes it a 3-2 game with 6:21 to go. So Drexel able to score all 3 goals in their first period. They had a brief power play coming in here in the second, but the goals have belonged to Robert Morris throughout the second period of play, and they have had the upper hand. As we're down to the final 6 minutes and 20 seconds. It is onto the stick of Hodgson. Hodgson sends it off the short board, and then it is poked along there by Morin. Morin sends one in on to the goaltender, Nocerino, and he's able to hold it and cover. Weak shot right out in front. Face-off one here by Robert Morris University. They send it in. It kicks off a skate. They're backhanded it. Second round attempt. Does not go, and it's brought back out to the point, then sent along now to the near boards. Taking it back behind the net. There's Hodgson. Hodgson has it back out to the other side and sends out to the forward point before it's brought along to the near side of Ragno. Ragno sends it along the near boards. He asks for the puck right back. He gets it, but then passes it back out, and then it's backhanded along. And then eventually sent in on net by Hodgson, but seen all the way by Nocerino, poked into the corner, and a penalty is called. Check that. No penalty. It was the referee who put his arm up to signal off the sides and not the lineman. So the referee making that call there. And it will remain 5-on-5 hockey with 5:25 to go here in the second period. Robert Morris University with it along the near side. Hurst with the puck. Hurst having some trouble as he's trying to dance out of danger, but Kaczynski has him pinned up against the boards, but then the puck eventually is sent back out over to the other side. Dish back into the goaltender. Nocerino able to poke it back behind the net. Gathering along the near boards, eventually sent back up, but onto the stick there of Hurst as he gets a shot off, and then the player goes down, and it was Hoover taking him down, but wisely dropping his stick to not get a call. Now we have a player go down, and a call will be made. Jimmy Jacobs will go to the box for holding. So after a pretty much clean first period of play, where it was just a coincidental minor for Drexel, and then a penalty for Robert Morris. It's been all Drexel to the box here in this second period. This time Jimmy Jacobs is sent. And he'll sit in 2 minutes for holding. Bell with the puck. Bell has it. He backhands it out and sends it all the way down. Another offsides called here with 4:06 to go here in the second period at 1:31. And man advantage. Face off one there by Robert Morris after the hand pass by Drexel. Brought over along to the near side. It's Hurst with it. Hurst sends it off there to the near circle. 3-2 Drexel University. It's been all Robert Morris here in the second. Hurst playing catch. Sends it to the far side and score. That one off the far post into the back of the net. Nocerino making a case that the net became dislodged. The referee having a discussion with him. And it will stand at a 3-3 hockey game. So we're tied at 3. And this is the way it looked last night, but in the third period that forced these two teams to go to overtime. Getting chased there. The puck now is Hoover. Hoover has it along in the near corner. He's taken down and out of the play. But then he'll eventually gather it back, as we saw Harris give the defense or the offense a little trouble. This puck kept it at the far sides, brought over along down to the near boards. McGinley trying to kick it out of his skate, but then it's brought back out the other way and then taken out of that play was LaFronte, and he is hurt. LaFronte catering to that left arm. Finnegan looking for a call. It's not going to get it. It's 2:51 to go here, the second period. And the conversation right now is where to play the puck. And they'll play it wisely right there at the blue line. That's where the check happened. That's where the puck was when the whistle was blown. LaFronte being checked out on the bench by the trainer as he looks to be in a lot of pain. Birkin sends this one out through center, but then it gets onto the stick there with Byrne. Byrne sending it across, trying to keep it out of Sambuco's way. And then this one eventually touches something on the Robert Morris bench to force another stoppage of play with 2:33 to go. This one centered out, but unable to get a full stick on it, and then we have a slashing call. There's this one on as it was made back behind the play. It appears to be called on Drexel. And it is. It's going to be Sambuco to the box for a slashing call with 2:16 to go. And as if Robert Morris didn't need enough momentum here in the second period, as they already scored 3 goals. They're about to get it again. And Sambuco and Castor making a case of, look, you let a lot go so far in the second period. You're going to call a slashing call back behind the play and force us back into a position where we have to defend ourselves and this net again. Face-off won there by Robert Morris. They had a brief conversation with each other before the drop of that puck, looking to get some kind of plan up to possibly take the lead. 2:08 to go. The puck's gathered in the corner. It's poked along the boards and eventually set back out. Ricocheted off the crossbar. The rebound kept out. And extra pushing and shoving at the end with a final 2 minutes to go in the second period. The original shot off the crossbar bounces right back down onto the blue paint. And No Sereno able to slide over and cover that one up with 1:44 left in the man advantage. Patrick, the backup goaltender for Robert Morris University, is stretching over there on the bench. as if he was expecting to come into this hockey game. Be interesting to see. It's been all Robert Mars here in the second period, so you wonder why your backup goaltender would be preparing to possibly come in. Was a penalty called there. This one on Palumbo, another roughing call. So it'll be 4-on-4 with 1:33 for 1 minute and 33 seconds and 1:45 in this second period. There's Hodgson dancing away there, and eventually trying to get back on the stick of Hurst, but it's out of his reach. And then McGinley going down low to avoid a lot of that hit as the puck comes back now the other way. It's poked away from him, and then it's a weak half attempt towards the net with Hurst. Then it's eventually cut down. We have another penalty. This is a tripping call. So 1:14 left here in the period. Castor giving his 2 cents as it's Urbani sent to the box on the tripping call. Will be a 5-on-3, or rather 4-on-3 rather, for 58 seconds. And a 4-on-4 briefly. And that 4-on-4 will take us into the final period to play. Down to the final minute to play here in the second period. It's been all Robert Morris. They had 3 goals. They tied it up at 3. They have the man advantage right now. They're looking to take the lead going into the final period of play. Gathering along there now is Hodgson. Hodgson holding, looking for an open lane. Wisely sends it across to the point. And now struggling there to find something is Patton. Patton looking along, then eventually is sent up and taken out of the play there with 30 seconds left. This one sent back to Finnegan. Finnegan tries to send one in that goes high and off the netting. And 24.8 to go here in the second period. 8 seconds left on the main advantage. Face-off one here by Robert Morris. They're down to the final 5 seconds on the main advantage. 18 seconds here in the period. They have it. They're holding, looking for an open lane. Back to 4-on-4 now. Here comes one that's going to go into the corner. Trying to come back out with the far side. It's Hodgson down to the final 7 seconds. They're looking. They're holding. Hodgson trying to send it towards the net. The player goes down in front of the net. This one brought out on the near side. And this one will go into the third period. Tied at 3. 23 shots total for Drexel University, 17 for Robert Morris. Robert Morris, though, will start the third period with a brief 46-second power play. We'll take a break here on WSBN, and when we come back, we'll have your third period of action.
The 4 Points by Sheraton, Winnipeg South. Conveniently located on South Pembina Highway near the Trans-Canada Bypass and 1 hour from the U.S. border crossing. Offering a saltwater pool, hot tub, 24-hour fitness center, restaurant, and lounge.
here the class of 1923 arena, here in the University City section of Philadelphia. Here in the University City section of Philadelphia, where all eyes are back on football and hockey for this city after the Phillies did not advance to the World Series. And right now, all eyes are on this Drexel team. They scored 3 goals in the first, unable to score anything in the second. But the bad news, even worse news rather, is Robert Morris University was able to come back and tie it. Robert Morris University ties the game up at 3. They'll start the third period with a brief 46-second power play. No Serena will be back in net for Drexel University, and Colburn appears to be coming back out in net for Robert Morris, as we saw Patrick begin to warm up on the bench. He went out into the hallway, began to stretch, began to do a little bit of exercising out just behind the bench, and it appeared as if he was getting ready to come in. But Colburn back between the pipes. We're still missing 1 referee, so we'll have 2 linesmen and a referee to finish out this hockey game. Drexel, they lost last night in overtime to give them their 5th consecutive loss. They're looking to rebound here in the third period, to take the lead early, and to hold on to that as they continue to the end of this hockey game. Face-off won here by Drexel, and then just casually pitchforking it into the Robert Morris end. There is Eisler. Hodgson with it. Hodgson gives it off to Hurst as he was in a little bit of danger. Now Hurst coming back out advance the other way. Hurst still at the far point. He stops, pauses, sends it along the boards over to the near side to Reed. Reed casually waits, but that was a mistake by him as the men in pink are able to get him a little bit of trouble as this one ricochets in. They kick this side. The rebound left out in front. That goes just wide of the post. Moving up now with it the other way, there is a Drexel, and then taking off hard on the play there. No arm, as the referee says play on. Morris with it. They're looking for an open outlet and waiting for a few men to come off the bench as they went off into a partial change. They leave the puck hanging and onto Drexel's stick, and then sent back down. We have a broken stick out on the ice. For the first time in this hockey game, we see Robert Morris enter a period with the upper hands in shots. They have 32. Drexel with 24. Morris had the momentum in that last period. They tied the game up at 3 and put a lot of pucks on the net. Puck's left out through center, a 2-on-1 developing if they hurry fast. Drexel moving out, the puck through the post, and center, score! Lazine with the assist to Lindeval with this goal, as Lazine just casually sent it back over, and no need for anything fancy. The 5-hole was open. Lindeval saw it. He sent it right through and gives his team a 4-3 lead with 18-17 to go here in the final period of play. And this is what Drexel needed. They need to score early, they need to gather the momentum, and they need to hold on to that as they enter in to the final minutes of this game. There's a long discussion going over there by the referee and the linesman with the Robert Morris head coach. It's a long conversation. A goal when something that should be simple. It's 4-3. To wonder what it's about. Well, originally we're just as clueless as you, but now we see Hodgson get a 5-minute penalty. Don't know on what. No signs were made. It was a long conversation with the benches, but it will allow Drexel to gain possibly even more momentum as we go into the final minutes to play here. Drexel with it. They drop it off on the near side, and then it's eventually on to the stick of Genovese. Genovese says that wide, the rebound kept out. Now they're trying to bring it back to the near side, but then eventually sent over to the far post where it's gloved and held to 17:48. Not sure what the 5-minute major was for. There's nothing that we saw here in the booth. Face off one here by Drexel. They have it. They bring it back out. They keep it in at the blue line. They bring it all the way across down to Genovese. Genovese looking for an open outlet. He drops it off there to Birkin. Birkin gives it right back to him. Genovese looking, sends it back to Birkin. They're playing catch. And he eventually takes it over, and it's in the stick of Harris. Harris scores! Harris gathers the puck, sends it off quick, and he now gives his team a 5-3 lead with 17:25 to go here in the third period of play. Man advantage will continue for 4 minutes and 8 seconds. You even have Hodgson, he's talking to the trainer down there, and he goes, I don't know what I did. He's throwing his hands up in the air. So we have Kazitsky with it now. Kazitsky drops it off in the corner. It's sent back out to the forward point. And they find an outlet, but right into the hand of the goaltender. That one off the stick of Sambuco. 4 minutes on the man advantage, 17-17 here in the final period of play. Referee back over by the glass again. See what the discussion is this time. Take some time off the clock here. $17:05 to go. They're going to adjust it to with 3:49 to go on the man advantage, and Robert Morris thinks more time should be coming off, but the referee says play on. Kazitsky drops it off to Hoover. Hoover tries to get it back to Kazitsky, but it's ricochets off her stick and allows Barrett to come up with it. Barrett moving up through center ice, now takes it into the far corner, dances out of danger, brings it back out to the far point there to Sambuco. Sambuco looking, he's holding, hands it off there to Hoover. Hoover sends it in deep into the far circle, and it was bounced off a player, but no damage done as Hoover gets it right back. So sent all the way over, shot go off, it's gloved and held the 313, and eventually going hard into the boards there with the Drexel player off to Checo Palumbo at the end. I'll whistle. 16:30 to go here in the third period of play. 3:13 on the man advantage. It was all Drexel in the first period. They scored themselves 3 goals, but then it was all Robert Morris in the second where they came back and scored 3. Drexel with it, they send it over to the far point and bring it back over along down to the near side. It's Genovese with it as he sends it back across. Gathering and holding there is Castora. Castora drops it off there to Birkin. Birkin sends it in, but it's easily kicked aside as we see Genovese gather again. We'll switch spots with Castora. Castora gives it right back to him. He points to Birkin, but Genovese has to dance out of danger, and then eventually he's able to get the puck back to him and brought over down to the near boards. Gathering, firing it out through the blue paint. But it goes all the way through and across. This one sent the length of the ice. No offsides call as he had just crossed the red line. Drexel moving up with it. So let's look at Genovese. Genovese sends it in. It's kicked off the pad. And then it ricochets off the handlebar. It's McGinley with it now. McGinley sends it across, pokes back out to the point, gathering at that far circle, getting right back to the point there to Hoover. Hoover tries to send it in on net, but it's blocked out in front with 1:55 to go, and that allows Robert Morris to move back out with it the other way. 1:50 go here in the man advantage, 15:04 in the final period of play. Drexel up by 2, 5-3. 1 on the power play goal, 1 on a casual shot through the 5-hole. Krasitsky has the puck. He has to take it back in his own end with 90 seconds left on the man advantage. Krasitsky gathers. He looks. He sends it across. He asks for the puck back. He gets it. He's dancing in and out of danger now. Pauses. Sends it back out to the near point to Hoover. Hoover looking. Gives it right back to Krasitsky. Krasitsky holds. Looks for an open lane. Has to give it back to Hoover. And Hoover sends it across down to the far circle. Poked ahead, it's Jimmy Jacobs with it back behind the net, plays it along the boards, back on the stick of Hoover, and this one bounced across, deflected off of his stick before it's gathered at the far point and sent back in further. Trying to center the puck there to Jimmy Jacobs, but it did not go, and eventually goes back out to the point as it was kept in. This one sent towards the net, it goes wide and brought along to the near side. Hoover calms it down. Sends it along to the near boards. Dancing around now, the danger there is Krasitsky. Krasitsky sends it into the corners. He rushes the net, but it's going back to Hoover. Hoover sends one that just goes high and over to Crossbar. 34 seconds to go on the main advantage as they're able to clear this one out with 13:48 to go. Penalty will be called as Slash. So it was Hoover trying to dance in, and then the slash coming off there of Purdue. Oh, check that, Martin. As Drexel was just getting ready to lose the man advantage after having it for 5 minutes and capitalizing. Now there'd be 5-on-3 for 23 seconds before eventually going to 5-on-4. So throughout most of this period, Robert Morris has been down a player. It's Harris with the puck now. Harris looking, brings it back out to the point. Castora allows his teammate there to gather. Castora asks for it, takes a slap shot that goes wide off the glass, and then it's on the stick of Genovese. Genovese gives it to Birkin. Birkin gives it to Castora. Castora sends it across. Genovese unable to send that one through, and we're now to 5-on-4 at 1:35 here at 13:10 to go in the period. This one sent across there to Castora. Castora gives it right back, and then it's a bouncing puck out in center. Both teams are battling, and then it eventually goes out through center and down with 1:18 left on the man advantage. Castore pokes it ahead, but it's out of the reach of his players as this one's cleared once more. Burker with it, Burton going off to Castore. Down at the final minute to play with the man advantage here. 12:38 to go in the period. Castore looking, dancing around danger, sends one across the goaltender, knocks the netting off, but the puck's going out through center. He'll fix it as it's back on its marks with 48 seconds to go on the power play. So it's sent out through center. Gathering there is Drexel University. They send it up. Keeping it in there is Harris. Harris sent it all the way across. And then this one sent back out on a weird angle shot there by Barrett. It worked in the first period. Barrett hoping it worked in the second. But the goaltender able to hold that one with 12:08 to go. Face off one there by Drexel. Drexel holding or looking or sending one towards the net that hits off the goaltender and he falls. This one pitchforked up in the air. It will clear and come out to center and then it's eventually poked back down. Here's Kaczynski with it. Kaczynski sends one towards the net. It's kicked back out. Harris gets his shot. Barrett rather gets his shot off, but then it's blocked away into the corner. The man advantage just about done as Robert Mars coming back out the other way. Centering that one out in front there was Palumbo, and then it's brought back to the near corner and then sent over to the far side. Gathering and trying to dance out of danger there is Hoover. Hoover eventually able to do so. And this one put up in the air, sent back down, giving chase there to his Kaczynski. And the icing called, even though Kaczynski was going to get to that puck first and he'll plead his case. Right. 11:18 to go. Drexel University with a 2-goal lead. They're trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. They went into overtime last night. It was a 5 game. And it was eventually Robert Morris that was able to come up with it. Kaczynski sends it in deep, and then his team will just go off on a change. Puck sent in on an icing. And LaFronte, who was injured in the first period, came back out. And it is now Robert Morris's bench making an argument that they would have touched the puck first and icing should have been canceled out. Drexel's getting a little annoyed, saying that Robert Morris, head coach, is just trying to pause to give his players a little bit of rest. Minutes to go. Here in the final period of play. Face off is a one there by Robert Morris as they send this one out through center. And then it is Eisler able to disrupt the play and send it back into the other end. Girbani brings it out to the near side. Eisler will try to send it out through center, but it's snared out of the air and brought back down. Bouncing puck there. That one was trying to be grabbed out of the air, allows the Drexel to gain control once more. And brought back out through center. A few slams of the sticks, and then eventually brought back into Sereno trying to settle it down. He's able to do so just enough to allow his team to gain control. This one sent through traffic, but seen all the way. That one off the stick of Finnegan. Physicality picking up here in the final minutes of this third period. Drexel University with the puck now. They have it. They're taken out of the play. They try to get back into it, but it's kept away from them, and we have a whistle. That's a penalty. Holding call. Kohlberg to the box for holding, and we see Castor enter into the face-off circle for Drexel. Castor wins the face-off. It's brought back out now to the near point. It is Genovese with it. Genovese sends it over to Castor. Castor gives it right back. Castor asks for it again. No, he has it. He's looking and trying to send it back over to Genovese, but it's blocked aside. A 2-on-1 was developing, but Genovese with speed able to come back and knock that one into the corner with his body. But the danger is not done yet, as Robert Morris had an opportunity to keep the pressure up, but then they mishandle a pass that was sent all the way back down. .9:05 to go here in the final period of play. 1:20 left on the man advantage for Drexel. They're up 5-3. They already capitalized once, looking to capitalize again. They send this one towards the net. It's kicked aside. It's into the skates of Genovese. He can't get it, and it's brought back out now the other way. This one floated towards the net. That one kicked aside off the stick of Harris, and him and another player go down in the corner. The referee's arm stays down. Moving back out with a Genovese and a offside call at the blue line. They say that Harris just beat him in. Face off one there by Robert Morris. Finnegan sends it around the boards, and then it's kept in at the point there by Drexel. This puck ball out on the near side. Kazitsky drops it off to Hoover. Hoover gives it right back to him. Kazitsky fans on the pass or shot towards the net, and now he'll have to find an open lane. Gives it back off to Hoover, back down to Kazitsky, and there's two of them are just going to continue to play catch for a set of the far side, and a slap shot goes wide. Barrett passed along and a whistle blown. Let's see what we have. Gonna have a cross check. This one on Drexel. And it appears that it is indeed Jimmy Jacobs to the box. So 19 seconds for 4-on-4 hockey, and a little less than 2 minutes for a man advantage. It will be the first for Robert Morris in this third period. They tried to make a change after the home team, but they were sent back to the bench. And it was Drexel that won the face-off, and then moving up with it through center and then drop it back off. 10 seconds to go on 4-on-4. Just crossing the line there is McGinley, and McGinley sends it all the way across, and trying to get there is Castor. Castor has it back into the corner. His team will be down a man now for 1 minute and 40 seconds. Still McGinley with it. McGinley sends it around the near boards and down, and then gathering and holding there is Birkin. Birkin will just wait and then eventually sends it down as McGinley will kick it in. As Robert Morris went off on a change, get a fresh set of legs on the ice. 7:22 to go here in the final period of play. Puck gather along now to the near boards. It is LaFronte with it, and eventually going on to the stick of Finnegan, and Finnegan takes a hard hit, but he's able to stay on his feet and pass the puck along. 55 seconds left on the man advantage. 6:55 left here, the final period. Drexel up 5-3, scoring 2 goals early. 1 through the 5-hole, 1 on the power play. Here's a shot that's gloved and held with 6:46 to go. Robert Morris with it, they're looking. They send one towards the net, that's seen all the way, gloved and held once more off the stick of Hodgson. Both yesterday's game and this game, great performances by these two teams. They're able to keep it close and they're playing nice, physical, clean hockey. As we see Urbani take Robert Morris out of the play there, and then this puck's at the length of the ice with 21 seconds left on the man advantage. Drexel, they're able to gather, they're going to just fling one towards the net, and that was off the stick of Lindvall, and it's just gloved, dropped, and now brought back out the other way. Down to the final 5 seconds on the man advantage. 6:05 left here in the final period to play. Back to 5-on-5 hockey for at least the time being, as this has been a period of handed by both sides. Genovese had it knocked away from him, spin around, he can't find it. He's trying to get control of it again, but it's eventually given on to the stick there of Hodgson, and then he tries to send it through traffic, but it does not make its way through. He gets the puck back. He tries to find another open lane, but this one just ricochets off the stick and into the net. Face off to the left of the goaltender. It's one, and then another shot going to hit off of Genovese's stick and into the safety netting. I'll make a quick adjustment to the clock here. No. Says the referee, stays at 5:20. Face off one. Backhanded along, it's gloved, it's held again. 5:18 to go. Technical difficulties here in the arena. This clock's getting stuck. The internet kind of going in and out. We had a little issue in the beginning with introductions and the national anthem, but we're battling through. Face off one, a bouncer goes in and then it's kicked this side. Finnegan sent that one in on net. 5:10 to go. 5-on-5 hockey. As this one is just going to get its way out through center and then battle for it along the blue line. Finnegan with the puck now. He's looking, he's dancing around. He's knocked into the boards. And it's eventually brought along down to the near side. Bounced off the boards there. This one sent in through traffic, but never makes its way all the way through. That was off the stick of Walker. And then Bell able to poke it along into the far corner before he's taken down. Bell's going to get up slowly. He's shaking up on the play, but he's okay with 4:30 to go. Bell throws a hard elbow up there with extra pushing and shoving, and Finnegan grabbing him back behind the play, but no call me. The only downside of one referee is everything can't be seen as this puck is pitchforked out through center and out onto the stick of Sambuco. Sambuco, though, taken out of play there by Byrne, as his team will gather back behind the net as they're down by 2. This one swept across by Jimmy Jacobs, went right onto the stick of the blue player. So danced along and holding and trying to get some kind of momentum with Hurst, as he'll just try to take Drexel out of the play. Puck did hit the referee, but sent back in with delayed offsides. And it was given to Koziski. Koziski gives it right back, then sent on up to Sambuco. And we're down to the final 3 minutes and 25 seconds, and this is a physical game all of a sudden. That one off the post and then sent into the corner. We'll have a penalty, this one on Drexel. The stick came out of the hand there, and then it poked aside into the corner, and we see Koziski touch it. Be a slashing call. That'd be Sambuco to the box. Slashing call that broke the stick in half. Shot clock has been stopped, so still saying 32-24, which is what it said as we entered into the third period of play. 2-minute man advantage for Robert Morris University. Drexel hoping to kill this one off and take it down to the final minute to play. Robert Morris looking for open lane. They bring the puck along now to the near side. It's sent back behind the net and out the other way by Hodgson. Hodgson gets it on the stick of Hurst. Hurst sends it back out to the forward point. And it's going back on the stick of Hodgson. Hodgson sends it to the right of the goaltender, and then he saw the play all the way as his team was able to keep it out and send it back down. Palumbo with the puck now. Palumbo dancing in. He sends it across. Palumbo gives it right back to himself. Then he drops it off. The referee, though, giving a shorter lane to the puck as this one's sent over to the far side. Now brought back out through center. Seen all the way held. 1 or 2 left on the man advantage. 2:11 here in the final period. Drexel able to get 2 goals in the top half of the third period, as it was all Robert Morris in the second, as they scored 3 in response to Drexel's 3 in the first. Timeout will be called here by Robert Morris. Morris trying to backhand it along. Is Urbani trying to get there? He's able to check him out of the puck. 32 seconds left on the main advantage. 1:40 here in the period. It's sent along now to the far side. And looking for the puck back is Hurst. Hurst sends one through traffic and scores. So the play that Robert Morris designed worked for them, as they're now down just by 1 with 91 seconds left in this hockey game. Face off one here by Drexel. It's 5-4 right now. As Robert Morris is looking to tie this game up and send it to overtime for the second consecutive night. Face-off won by Robert Morris. Down to the final minute to play. This one kept out. It's at the far point now. Brought over out into the middle. Almost came out. Now it does. This one's sent over. Linesman says play on. It looked like it was an offside. It did not look like they fully touched up, but Drexel was able to clear the puck once more. 42 seconds to go. 5-4 our score after the most recent goal, as we had a hard hit there and Drexel able to send this walk down. 29 seconds. Robert Morris looking to get one more good rush in before the end of this hockey game. They won last night, final score 6-5 in overtime. They would like to send it there now. This one poked into the corner. Trying to hold it there is going to be Hoover. Hoover gets some assistance. As long as they can move that puck a little bit, they can keep it there. Going down to the ice there was Birkin to make sure they didn't center it. This one sent back out through center. 4 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And Drexel has snapped their 5-game losing streak as they win this one. A final score of 5-4. A well-played hockey game by both sides. Both teams. A lot of momentum throughout each period. But it's Drexel that comes out on top. We thank you for joining us here on WSBN and here at the Class of 1923 Arena. Be sure to join us next week here